Brian Daboll, 9 wins his first year in New York, 6 wins his second year in New York. Problem, just 3 wins his last year in New York. Trajectory-wise, it's getting worse. He's on the hot seat. Finished last year 3-14. Many suggested he was on the verge of getting fired, but they kept him. What that means, though, is Brian Daboll's job potentially needs saving. Shady McCoy, after everything Daboll has been through, 9 wins, 6 wins, 3 wins, but Daniel Jones, now you got a future Hall of Famer in Russ. Do you expect Russ to save his job?
I think Russ and Daboll together will save his job, right? Now you get a guy like Daniel Jones out the building, like far away from New York. Now you can do some things at quarterback. I think Russ doesn't get enough credit for the way he played last year because he played well, right? I think the defense let him down a little bit for the Steelers. And the running game, the offensive line was bad. I think with an offensive-minded coach, sometimes you can kind of hide some of them flaws on the offensive line, right? You can hide some of that. Sometimes, and they got a solid running game, right? I also think that with Daboll, you'll see some of the things you've seen with Daniel Jones. When he did look good, the few games he looked good, a lot of it was Daboll. Put him in position to win. It's not a coincidence that this guy won rookie or coach of the year his rookie season because he's that good of a coach. And I think Russ has a lot more in the tank than people give him credit for. And we're going to see it. So I'm just anxious to see. I do think they save their job. Now, you are in probably the hardest division in football, one of them, and that's going to be tough. But I think Daboll will show some fight to keep his job. Now, that's not saying they're going to go out there and win 10, 11 games. But I think you're going to show enough that, hey, he can still manage with this team, and Daboll give him some more players in there, and then for the future.
Do we think the Giants are going to make the playoffs this year, yes or no?
I don't think so.
Not right now, no.
Nah, not the playoffs.
Then I don't think anyone can save Daboll's job if they don't make the playoffs. I think Russ gives them the best chance of the veterans out there other than Aaron Rodgers. Aaron didn't want to go to the Giants. They signed Russ. I think it's a smart move. You sign Jameis just in case Russ gets hurt. I don't think they're going to pick a guy at number 3 that is going to lead them to the playoffs. So in my opinion, if they don't make the playoffs, which I don't think they can because like Shady so expertly said, they are in a very difficult division. And quite honestly, you have the Commanders and you have the Eagles above them, and then you have the Cowboys, and then you have the Giants. Let's try to get out of our division first. Look, I like what Russ has to offer. And I think Daboll said it perfectly. The deep ball is there. Darius Slayton, fast. Malik Neighbors, fast. Travis Hunter, who I think you should take at number 3, fast. I do think they have some weapons. Yeah. So I do think they have some weapons. But this offensive line last year ranked 23rd in the NFL. It was the same offensive line, similar ranking, giving up sacks as the Pittsburgh Steelers. So he's not going to some great offensive line where he's going to have all the time back there. And if you look at how he's played later on in his career, he's been more of a pocket passer. Even Daboll said, hey, it's not 2013, it's not 2014, where Russ is looking at one read and scrambling and making all these crazy plays. Okay, that's 12 years ago. This is now, and I think that Russ has done a good job within the pocket, but I just don't know if they have enough weapons. Like, I think Russ is going to have a good year. Like, if Russ throws for 3,500 yards and 25 touchdowns, I think it's a really good year. I think he's proven that maybe not with the Giants he can continue to play, but to save the Giants' job, man, that is a tall task at hand. So my answer is absolutely not right now.
My answer is yes. I like what Russ brings to the table. I think Russ is the best quarterback the Giants have had in a very, 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 very long time. And with Brian Daboll, I think they can accomplish some good things. If you was to ask that question, Brian Daboll's rookie year as a season when he won Coach of the Year, unanimous would have been no of making the playoffs, right? But nobody knows how the season is going to go. What I do know is they do have a lot of speed on offense. Yeah, they do have a really good number 1 wide receiver in Malik Neighbors. They do have a legit running back in the backfield. Their offensive line is better than the Pittsburgh Steelers. They just had quarterbacks that was holding the ball and did not know where they was going to go with the ball. One thing Russ can still do, even though he's older, he might not be moving as fast as he was moving, but Russell Wilson can still extend plays. Chase, you know best. Shady, you know best. Acho, you know best playing defense. This game is about off-schedule plays. It's very, very rare that your offensive play caller is going to say, boom, 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 and the play works to perfection. No, you have to be able to extend plays. Russ gives you that opportunity. The Giants will be a much better football team. Wins-wise, what number does that mean? I don't know. But with Russell Wilson, they will be a much better football team. They have really good players on the defensive side of the ball, especially that defensive line. And with Travis Hunter, I think this team can really surprise some people.
A much better football team. What's the over-under on wins for you? Like, if I say 7 wins.
I'm going over. I think they get to 9. I think they get to 9. They're 4th in the division. They're going to have the 4th easiest schedule in that division because they play the worst teams in every division. I think they can get to 9 wins. I don't know what that means.
I want to ask you this, though, because if I ask you, like, do you think they have a really good coach?
I do.
You think you say yes? What would you say?
Really good coach?
Yes.
Yeah.
Offensive-minded, for sure.
So my thing is, okay, so that's one part, right? Check. Because it's hard to get a good coach in this league. This the same way it's hard to get a good quarterback, it's hard to get a good coach. So you have a good coach right there, boom, right? Do you have a coach that can help the quarterbacks? That's another thing people care about.
Absolutely.
Good coach can help the quarterback, okay?
One of the best to help the quarterback.
Better than he was at Pittsburgh with Tomlin.
Okay, right. And last year, Russ had 18 touchdowns and 5 picks, and he didn't start the whole season. I want to just bring this point to y'all because I started thinking about, okay, what are some of the other coaches that had a short tender, that got fired, right? I started thinking about, I went to the Chicago Bears, right?
Yeah.
I look at what they had over there. I go to the Jets.
Yeah,
Saleh with the Jets. Eaglefoot, your boy.
Yeah.
Right? I look at what he had over there. Yeah. And the reason why I feel like these guys got fired is because they couldn't coach the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like
Defensive head coaches.
defensive head coach, you can't coach quarterbacks. And like, why would I keep you if you can't coach quarterbacks when that's the most important position in football? Brian Daboll has that. I think if you could add some more pieces to that team, because that team is not that talented.
No.
I don't care who the coach over there. Andy Reid could change some of it around, but it's going to be tough for him too because the team is so bad. You get what I'm saying?
I think
where
that matters,
I'm not
though.
really down on the Giants roster.
Yeah,
Like,
we can
they have
tell.
more talent
We can tell you think they're going to win 9 games,
they're
James
that
Jones.
talented,
I don't think they're super talented,
and
but they're more talented than we think. Their defensive line is phenomenal. You got an all-pro D tackle. You got 2 really good pass rushers.
Great D-line.
Keep going.
You just signed a really good safety to come over there in Holland. They have pieces on the. I'm not saying they're a super roster, but what I'm saying is to compete with Russell Wilson, they have a solid
Here's
roster.
the other problem nobody's talking about.
Oh, tell us.
The Giants have to play the NFC East. Thus, the Giants have to play the NFC North this year. Vikings, Lions, Packers, Bears, maybe the toughest division in football. And they also have to play the AFC West this year.
Yeah, good luck.
Chiefs,
9 wins.
Chargers, Broncos, Raiders.
Nah, James.
So maybe the 2 best divisions in football, the AFC,
Broncos,
the NFC North,
Ravens,
real quick.
Broncos, Chargers, Raiders.
I'm just saying real quick. The NFC North, I think, put 3 teams in the playoffs last year, I think. The AFC West, I think, put 3 teams in the playoffs
Broncos,
last year.
Chargers.
So you got to play 2 divisions that put 3 teams each in the playoffs last year, not counting your own division.
Stories like
that put 2 teams in the NFC Championship game last year.
Well, I was
So, like,
saying
it's
Still
just-
young quarterback,
it's just-
J.J. McCarthy.
I'm just saying, only thing I'm saying, because it's hard to project wins, so I only think it's going to be like 6 or 7. But you have to, their road isn't easy. Like, you got to play the Eagles twice, the Commanders
But
twice.
division games are tricky.
They are.
You stay. It sounds like you should win and you lose.
Sure,
so.
but the Cowboys have beat the Giants 11 straight times, so they're not that tricky. But I do think to some degree they're tricky. But you also got to play the Chiefs. You got to play.
And that's it. That's it.
Yeah, because
that's the only team.
we're not saying guarantee win Raiders, Chargers, and Broncos.
Raiders. But James, the Giants are bad. I'm not going to act like they're good. Giants are 3 wins last year.
They're going to be.
They're terrible. The only thing of substance they've added this offseason, someone correct me if I'm wrong, Javon Holland at safety
really good.
and Russell Wilson.
Who's good too.
Sure, but that's not going to take you from 3-14 to 10-7.
But not only that, but I'm saying, what did we think the Broncos was going to be last year? What do we think the Chargers was going to be? They was coming off of terrible years. Nobody would have said they was going to the playoffs.
Sure. I would have said that. No.
So you understand what I'm saying? So a lot. I mean, a lot.
They're going to be in the mix. I'm just saying they're going to be in the mix. Can we say that, or you don't feel like that?
I don't think they will. And that's what I was going to say.
They're bad.
They were 3-14
not
last year.
that
Do we think
bad.
that Russell Wilson
It's worthy of
will
7
take
wins.
him 7 more wins?
They're bad.
7
not
more?
bad.
James,
Joe.
they're not the Eagles.
How are you?
I don't even know what he's saying.
The Eagles are on a different
They're
level
not the
than everybody.
Commanders. How are you saying they're not that bad?
What do
They have,
you need?
okay.
What do you need?
I can see them slipping up and beating the Commanders.
As it pertains to defensively, we look at threats. Who's a threat? Who scares you?
Malik Neighbors scares
the
you.
only person that scares you. The only person. Tracy's a good player, kind of. He's a good player, kind of. Jalen Hyatt's fast. He's fast.
A lot of young, unproven guys. I would say that.
Only one person scares you. Malik Neighbors. That is it.
How many people on the offense scares you?
On the Eagles, 3 of them. On the Lions, 3 of them. At least 2 of them.
Talking to elite teams.
The Broncos.
On the Commanders, Chargers, 3 of them.
Who on the Chargers scares you?
James, I'm talking at least about the NFC, bro. Like, nobody there scares you but Malik. That's
You must know something
Who
we
on
don't
the
know.
Dallas Cowboys scares you other than
CD? But the Cowboys aren't good either. That's my point. So how are we just not good either?
James holding himself down in court, though.
They're not good either.
How is he holding himself?
The joy on what's going on right now. It's looking good.
All I'm saying is we acting like the Giants don't have talent. They have a bona fide number 1. and they have two really good number wide receivers. They have a solid running back that's up and coming, can catch and run.
All that had 3 wins. They're bad. They're bad.
The quarterback play, though.
The Giants are bad. They're not as
It's
good.
not all the quarterback. Did we watch Drew Lock and them boys and Danny DeVito and all them boys last year?
Yo, James just sold me, though. I'm with it. Hey, Giants playoffs?
Quarterback play made the defense.
playoffs?
They got more than 9.
That's right.
I will bet $1,000 each. And
You know what? I'm going to go and say it. I'm going to say it.
It's going to help the defense.
Are they going further than the Broncos?
That good?
I'll take that bet.
I'll take that bet. I'll take that bet.
No.
Giants harder than the Broncos.
$1,000. I'll bet you right now.
Well, playoffs is tough. 9 wins? I bet you 9 wins.
Playoffs.
Dog.
That's the only way to save the job.
You and Acho said they won't get to 6 wins. You ain't going to take 9 wins?
Set the over-under at 7.
So 9.
Let's take it.
What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.